The reason why I'm buying Arcblock's native token called ABT over Bitcoin is very simple. It's because I believe that it has a lot more room to grow, especially during this bull run. Now, even though nothing I say is financial advice nor a guarantee, if we take a look at, if for instance, ABT were to go to the price of $100 during this bull run, which I do believe hypothetically it will, but even besides that, at that point, considering current circulating supply, market cap would be around $10 billion, which is actually very low in the grand scheme of things. This is around 25% of Shiba Inu's all-time high market cap, which is kind of insane to think about because we've seen Shiba Inu reach around $40 billion, and we've also seen Dogecoin reach over $80 billion in market cap, of course, back in 2021. So a $10 billion market cap is actually very minuscule in the grand scheme of things. But even besides that, that right there is around a 67x from here. Now, on the contrary, if let's say, Bitcoin were to do a 67x from here, at that point, the price would be around $4 million. Now, we have to take this into consideration. Can Bitcoin do over like a 60x during this bull run? No, I mean, that's pretty much impossible. I'm not saying the very long term, but I'm just saying during this bull run more specifically, yeah, I don't think it can do that. Could it do like a 3x, maybe as a most bullish case scenario, like a 4x from right now? I think, possibly, right? We never really know when that FOMO, that buying pressure, that buying volume really kicks in. I think Bitcoin could still do okay. But I think when it comes to ABT, I believe that it could hypothetically do very spectacular because, again, just doing a 67x around that, right, is already, just a $10 billion market cap. It's not too much to ask for, in my opinion. I get getting into like Bitcoin like 10 years ago or something like that. But as of right now, especially we're so close to 2025, I want to look for the next big thing. I want to look for something that could hypothetically be so amazing during this bull run. And I think that could very well be something like ABT. Now, I sometimes like to say that Arcblock is fantastic, but people don't really get this. But let me explain, right? Because if you take a look at Arcblock, what is its mission? What's its goal, so to speak? Quite essentially, the goal of Arcblock is to simplify the process of decentralized application and as well as blockchain development. Now, this has notoriously, right, historically been known as a process in some cases that is kind of complicated. So, of course, by Arcblock trying to simplify that right there is very revolutionary. There's many applications out there as of right now, also many blockchains, right? But I think there's going to be more to come in the future, naturally, as the blockchain space overall grows, as blockchain adoption grows. Again, I think it's just natural that we'll see more of that. So, of course, something like Arcblock is going to have a role moving forward. It's not going to die, right, when the hype is gone. No, that's not the case whatsoever. I think that its future could look so bright, and I think that it's very amazing. Now, also, let's not forget, the core of Arcblock is reusable and composable software components, which in this case are called blocklets. Now, keep in mind, any component or application on Arcblock is either made up of a blocklet or is a blocklet. So yeah, I think that should be taken into consideration. But even besides that, if we take a look at this, right, we'll see that, for instance, applications on Arcblock can support almost any mainstream blockchain service, which includes, of course, something like Bitcoin. Now, of course, this is great news because Bitcoin has widespread adoption, but it doesn't necessarily mean, again, that I want to acquire Bitcoin personally as an investment. But even besides that, also Ethereum, Solana, and much more. So the fact that, again, right, Arcblock can support, these mainstream blockchain services, I think this right here is such a great sign for something like Arcblock. It's very revolutionary in my opinion. Now, let's not forget, right? Arcblock, it's also even focused on AI. Now, we take a look at this, for instance, they even have an AI kit. Now, this allegedly can enable any application to have AI capabilities, which I think is massive because if you take a look at AI, granted, some of the hype did disappear, but I think better days are ahead. According to Grandview Research, the AI market is expected to be worth nearly $2 trillion by 2030. Could you imagine that? We're so close to 2025. That's basically like 5 years away at this point. That's ridiculous if you ask me. That's bigger than some countries' GDP. So yeah, when it comes to, AI, I think there's still better days ahead. Not to mention, Arcblock is also focused on decentralized identity. Now, this is a market that's often overlooked. People oftentimes don't really consider it. But in my opinion, this also has a lot of potential. Even though the potential is reportedly, or allegedly I should say, not going to be as great as an AI market, for instance, I still think it's pretty amazing because you take a look at how, according to Grandview Research, yet again, by 2030, its market size is expected to be worth over $100 billion. Now, that's kind of like peanuts compared to the AI market, but again, it's not bad nonetheless. The way I take a look at it is that Arcblock is pretty much one of the most revolutionary projects out there. Focus on the right markets, has amazing fundamentals, and it's one of these amazing projects that, again, is not going to disappear once the hype is gone. No, that's not the case. It has actually a good use case, so it's going to be around for a very long time, in my opinion. A lot of people oftentimes like to focus on these like meme coins, and don't get me wrong, I do love some meme coins. They like to focus on like these blockchain gaming projects, and I do love some of them, but I think sometimes people often ignore something like Arcblock because they don't think it's flashy, they don't think it looks cool, they think that, oh yeah, the fans aren't really there. But in my opinion, man, the niche that Arcblock is focused in, again, trying to simplify the process of decentralized application and blockchain development, that right there, I think could have such a bright future ahead. Imagine once the hype comes in for these type of projects, right? Once the FOMO, the buying pressure kicks in, especially during a fully fledged bull run, man, it could look so special. It's just really a waiting game at this point because, again, ABT at the price of $100 really wouldn't surprise me. But again, it takes some time. Now, how much time? Typically, as a worst case scenario, altcoins, they've been known to peak around 18 months after a Bitcoin halving event. Now, this would actually mean October of next year. Now, why is that? It's because the last Bitcoin halving event actually happened back in April. So yeah, 18 months again is October of next year. Not so bad. We're already in October of 2024. So that's basically like, a year away. That's kind of insane to think about. Now, granted, could altcoins peak a lot sooner? Maybe, maybe let's say like April, May, you never truly know. But again, right, even as a worst case scenario, it's not even waiting really that much longer anyways. Because a lot of people, they've been in the crypto space ever since 2021. So it's not like we have to wait like another 4 years or something crazy like that. No, that's not the case. Could very well be in the very near future. And how am I preparing myself for that? That's simply through dollar cost averaging, just acquiring, holding, and just waiting. Literally, that's it. What I do is I focus on amazing projects. And by the way, if you want to know the fantastic projects that I'm holding as of right now, and my exit strategy, and as well as my, planned projects that I look to get into in the future, feel free to join my Discord. The link is in the description below. I also talk about advice when it comes to people's portfolios. And also, if people want to know how I build a channel, how I build a sustainable upload schedule and grow my channel, you can also check it out in the Discord and interact with me on a closer basis. But even besides that, again, when it comes to Arcblock, I just like to keep things simple. ABT, again, anytime I earn income, I acquire it, I hold it, and I just wait. That's it. And why would I not wait? There's over 600 million crypto owners as we speak. That's more than ever before in history. So you could only imagine the potential FOMO and buying pressure during this bull run. It's going to be insane. I think even though Bitcoin is having a pullback as of right now, I think it's going to have better days ahead. Again, I'm not a fan of Bitcoin as an investment, but I think a lot of altcoins, especially something like ABT, is going to greatly depend on it. So I think that, when you combine the fact that there's over 600 million crypto owners, according to Crypto.com research, Bitcoin going to the price of 150,000, let's say, that wouldn't surprise me whatsoever during this bull run. And I think if it were to do that, it's only fair to assume that something like ABT does go along with the ride. I mean, the Bitcoin ETF, again, is massive, right? The amount of institutional investors, the amount of enterprise adoption, that's massive for something like Bitcoin. And also, when it comes to altcoins, some people like to think that, it disappeared, all this type of stuff. No, I think the hype is going to come back in again. Literally it's just a waiting game at this point. And I'm going to stay patient because the way I take a look at it is that the marathon is pretty much like 80 or 90% complete. All I got to do is really just make it to the finish line at this point. That's what I get. I'm not trying to do anything fancy like day trading, using leverage or swing trading. Nah, I'm not trying to do that. I'm literally trying to keep things as simple as possible because when a bull run could be this fantastic, man, I think the sky's the limit. Keep in mind, back in 2021, during the peak of that bull run, there was pretty much like 50% less crypto owners. So you could only imagine all the FOMO, all the buying pressure, the buying volume that we saw back then could very well be amplified in such a fantastic way. And I really can't wait. Again, ABT at the price of $100 during this bull run, that wouldn't surprise me whatsoever. If I could only put all my eggs into one basket, this time around, I'm hands down putting it all into ABT as opposed to Bitcoin. I think that hypothetically, it just has a lot more room to grow. And I'm in the world of cryptocurrencies, after all, to look for potential gains. I'm not looking for dinosaurs, personally as an investment, even though I think Bitcoin fundamentally isn't a dinosaur. But I think that in terms of an investment for me right now, I think it's kind of a dinosaur. I think ABT is the winner here for me. And make sure to subscribe if you gain value from this video. I'd greatly appreciate it. It's been Lee the Captain. I'll catch y'all on the next one. I'm out. Peace. Bye.